In today's episode, I want to talk to you about unlocks, statistics, and the battle log. Because if you're a brand new player, you're going to find when you try and change weapon, you actually don't have very many weapons at all. And when you try and change the accessories on a weapon, again, you won't have very many at all. And I want to show you how you can find out exactly what's coming up, exactly what you need to do to unlock each one, and show you some really useful statistics and other things as well that's available on the battle log. So, let's get learning. Well, greetings guys. There was recently a big sale on Origin, which included a big sale on Battlefield, and I think for the first time people were able to get a brand new copy of Battlefield for 10 quid British money, and even get the full-on Battlefield with premium for just under 25. So that does mean even at this kind of later stage in Battlefield's life, we're still going to have new players. And what I'd like to do in this little video is just talk you through basically a beginner's guide to unlocks, to Battlelog, which is the way the game forces you to get the game started, and maybe talk to you about some stuff with statistics as well. I'm planning on doing an intermediate version of this video as well, so I am going to be looking at the absolute basics today. So if you are if you've been playing for a while, you may not find anything new here, but it might be a nice refresher of what is available. Now, when I first installed Battlefield, and when you first installed Battlefield, the fact that you had to go into a web browser before you could actually go into a game was frustrating. It was something new, it was something different, and lots of people were kind of grumbling about why this had to be done. But now, looking back a year and a half on, there are a huge amount of advantages about the fact that you can almost be in Battlefield without being in Battlefield. So I can communicate with my friends in game, I can have a look at various servers, I can check out my assignments, my unlocks, all this kind of stuff, without having to load a full screen game. So I think Battlelog has proven that having this kind of front end to the game does have its place, and hopefully they will continue to update it as indeed they have done. Now, when you first load up Battlelog, your front page will normally look something like this, and you've got various news bits here, an advert for whatever is normally coming up, some status updates from your mates and things like that. And on the right hand side you will have your mates, your friends, and you can communicate them with them right in Battlelog. You can just click on any of the ones that are online, click on the little speech bubble, and they'll appear down here, and you can just talk, say stuff to them, and confuse them by messaging them while you're making a video. And any of the people that you've got down there will appear along the bottom, and you can also create a group chat as well. You can even use this stuff on the right to join maps together. So if I was to go to the server browser, join a map, I'll do this quickly to show you. Actually, if I click here and I join a server, the server will appear there. Then I can drag someone down onto there, and then if I now release that, it will automatically send them an invite to that map as well. And of course they can just join on me, because the other thing you can do is if any of your friends are in game, there'll be an option here for you to just join on them, and if the game can, it will put you straight into their squad and their team. But that will very much depend on whether the teams are balanced and whether there's space in the squad and stuff like that. So this is a very little powerful joining game tool over here. But what I'd like to talk to you about a little bit more today is what you can actually find in terms of statistics and unlocks. And if you could follow along with me here, I'm going to click on Soldier, and then I'm going to click Weapons, which should bring you to a screen that looks a little bit like this. Now, what you'll have here, the main body of this page, is all the weapons you've used with all the statistics you've got for it, and you can just read across and see what all of those statistics are. But for a brand new player, I think the most useful part of this page is going to be this side of the screen here. And if you scroll down, you've got all 4 classes and a section called General, and this shows you all of the weapons and tools that you will be unlocking and what you need to do each one. Now, the first 4 or 5 in each class, Assault, Engineer, Support, Recon, excuse me, are basically like your gadgets. So if you've loaded up Battlefield and you're kind of going, well, where's my defibrillator? Where's my where's my shotgun? Where's my ammo pack? All those kind of stuff. Some of them will be unlocked straight away. Others of them you'll have to get a certain score for. And if we just start with assault, for example, if I put the mouse over it, you'll see to get the defibrillator, I need to get 4,000 assault points. No, that's not just points in general, but has to be assault points. So playing as the assault class, and then so on. The 320 unlocks 11,000, M416 22,000, all the way up down to what's the highest one? It's going to be one of these around here, I think. 220,000 for those final weapons. So this is going to be a really good place for you to come to see what's coming up and what you have to do to get it. Now, one of the other confusions that often a new player might get a bit confused with is that when you first start playing, you'll find that you'll be playing with one weapon, and then you'll load up to the next map, and then it will force you to do a different weapon, and you won't have the option of what you used before. That's because the first gun you use for the American team and the first gun you use for the Russian team are different. And actually, you can see here, you see there's two here with a little flag on, and there's two here with a little flag on, and there's two here with a little flag on, and two here with a little flag on. Basically what that means is until you unlock those unlocks, you can't use the first Russian weapon when playing as the US, and you can't use the first US weapon when playing as the Russian. And that's actually the last unlock you get. Now, for that reason, it might be useful when you start to unlock new weapons, like for the assault the 416, or for the engineer maybe the Scar H. It might be useful for you to switch straight away to making that your default weapon for a while, because each weapon has its own individual unlocks. So if I just click on the M416 here, it'll take us to a new page with a nice little biography, give you some more statistics again, the power of Battlelog, and then it'll show you all of the things that you can unlock and have unlocked for this particular gun. So as you can see, I've actually got all of the accessories for this particular gun. I've got one of the skins, but not the other one, and it'll tell me what I need to do there. But when you're getting up and running with the gun, especially if you're a new player, getting some of these unlocks will be quite tough because you're learning how to play the game. And you're going to need to get yourself a nice scope, maybe a foregrip, maybe a heavy barrel, which all affect how the gun handles, and I can talk about those in future videos, or have a look on various other websites, because there's loads of information out there. So it might be useful for you to play with one gun more often, because then you'll unlock all the bits and bobs for that particular weapon more quickly. Now you might be thinking, hang on a minute, does that mean I've got to unlock all of those different unlocks for every single different weapon? That's a heck of a lot of unlocks. Yes, it is, and this, to be honest, it's an annoying thing, because that means you can't just switch between weapons without unlocking stuff with them. But it's also a good thing, because it also increases the length of time that one can play the game. It still gives you things to do. If you're like a completionist, you can always kind of think, oh well, I need to go and unlock the stuff in that. And there's fun in changing weapons as well. You know, if you've been playing with the M416 or the AN94 for ages, you can then suddenly say, well, now I'm going to go and play with another gun, and I'm going to get all of that gun's unlocked, and you learn to play in a different way, you have to play in a different style. It brings lots of longevity to the game, and gives you things to do. Okay, so if you're wondering how to unlock stuff, have a look down here. Now, as well as stuff that you unlock per class, Assault, Engineer, Support, Recon, there's also a whole bunch of guns here in general, which will work across classes, meaning whatever class you are, you can pick these weapons. Most of them tend to be pistols, as you can see from the little picture, but then you've also got things in here like shotguns and what are often kind of called bullpup type guns, which are like these kind of like small little kind of machine guns that kind of go brrr, really, really fast firing, low distance, low power type guns. And that can be quite useful if you're the kind of player that struggles to play with sniper rifles and struggles to play with big machine guns in the support category. It gives you alternative guns to use as those characters. And again, a lot of these are to do with rank. So for example, the M9 Tactical means you need to get to rank 10, and I've actually got a few here that I haven't got yet. And then others are to do with unlocking in co-op mode, and then there's various others that are to do with assignments, and I'll come to them in a minute. So there's something else for you to work through with your unlocks. And again, yes, as you click on each one, you'll see all the things that you can unlock for that particular gun or not. And you can see this is actually a gun I haven't used very much at all. So if I'm aiming to be a completionist, I should go and use it a bit more and get some have some fun with it. Below that, you can see the unlocks that come from specializations. Now, what a specialization is when you're choosing your weapon, you get to choose, or selecting your class, you get to choose your what class you are, your primary weapon, your secondary weapon, any choices of kit, and then at the end, once you've unlocked it, there will be a specialization option. And I think if you're level 1, you won't have a specialization yet, but as soon as you hit level 2, you're going to get sprint, which means you could run faster, and then you're going to get extra ammo at level 5, then you're going to get a flak jacket at level 8, but you can only have one, and you've got to choose, and that will depend on your playstyle, your perceived strengths and weaknesses, what mode you're playing, you know, it'll depend which one you use. But even better than that, once you reach level 23, and if you're a beginner player that might seem quite some way away, but don't worry, you'll get there. It changes from being sprint, which is the one at level 2, to squad sprint. Now that means if you carry that, everyone in your squad gets the benefit of that particular specialization, so everyone would run a bit faster. Same for squad flag at level 37. Everyone in the squad will be able to have an extra grenade if you carry that. Now what that means is that when you are in a squad, you can actually have 4 specializations as long as everyone is running a different perk. So if you ever see someone in chat saying to you something like, oh, we're double perking or double stacking or something like that, what they mean is we've got 2 people running squad sprint or 2 people running squad suppression, because these effects don't double up. If we all had squad frag, you wouldn't all be running around with 8 grenades, you'd still only be running around with 2. So do keep those in mind, use them, change them up from now and then, and make sure that you're not doubling up. So this is a really good page to come to see what's coming up and what you can do. And going across this top line here, there's loads of other little bits and bobs that you can do as well. There's statistics for vehicles, which are exactly the same as the weapons. You can see what unlocks you've got and what you haven't. And as you can see from mine, I play with tanks quite a lot and don't touch jets at all. You've got all of your lists of awards that you've got in game and how many of each award you get. Now, I think you tend to get ribbons fairly easily, and then once you get a certain number of ribbons you get medals, so you'll nearly always have more ribbons than medals. And this is a lovely place to come to kind of see almost like where your strengths and weaknesses are, because as you can see there are certain ribbons here I have never got, and a lot of that's because I haven't been playing for the last, say, 4 months, so they're the new modes, but some of them aren't. Some of them are just play styles that I don't do, so perhaps I could consider that. But here's a really fun one, especially for a beginner. The assignments. Now, assignments are specific missions in addition to the main gameplay. So as well as just playing Conquest where you've got to take over the flags, these are extra personal missions for you. And if you complete them, many of them have a gun, or an outfit, or a camouflage, or a dog tag, or even just bragging rights. You know, there's some very cool stuff here for you to work on. And if you click on each one, or even look at each one, it'll tell you what you need to do and what you'll get. And if you look carefully at the picture, you'll normally get a picture or in there of what you're likely to get. And if I just go back to the weapons for a second, there are a whole bunch of weapons here that you don't unlock through playing the game, you unlock through completing the assignments, or what you don't unlock through just playing as a certain character. So for example, if I want the L85A2 for the assault category, then I need to complete the assignment Professional Russian, which then means I need to come over to the assignment page and dig around for that particular assignment. Now, I must admit I haven't actually found a quick way of going from the gun to the specific assignment. It tends to be that you just seem to kind of need to kind of look around through it, but it doesn't take a while, and it's quite fun to have a look through and see what you want to do. And the other lovely thing about these assignments is that they're designed to make you play all the different weapons in all the different places with lots of different types of kills. So to get every single one, you're going to have to be a complete master at Battlefield, which is great because it forces you out of your comfort zone rather than just playing the same weapon at the same place over and over and over again. If you want to get all of these, then you need to you need to kind of follow the instructions and get to it. Some of them are linked. Can you see in these Aftermath ones that there's an assignment here and then an arrow and then an assignment here with a lock on it? That means I must complete that assignment first before I can complete that assignment, even if I actually start doing some of the things or making progress towards them, it won't count. Some of the assignments are DLC based or premium based, and you can normally see next to it which DLC it is particularly attached to. In addition to that, and I'm only got a few more things I want to point out. I did mention co-op. If you click on the co-op button at the top, it will tell you all of the different missions that you can play. And again, remember when I dragged someone down, you can drag someone down to kind of invite them to your co-op. But there are some weapons which can only be unlocked by playing co-op missions. Okay, so if I just go back to soldiers and weapons again, some of the most popular ones for that, the G3A3, which is 160,000, which is, and this is actually the most damaging assault rifle in the game. It's very slow rate of fire, but if that's your type of play, it's very nice to kind of play with a slightly different gun. Very, very, very damaging gun. Very powerful. And then there's a few very, very important pistols as well that come into this category. So, for example, it's the one that has it's almost like a tiny little automatic pistol. Yeah, this one here, the 93R. I think it's one of two, or the only pistol that actually fires multiple bullets on each squeeze of the trigger. So that's a very important gun to unlock, and it doesn't take you long to get that score in co-op as well. There's loads more to tell you. There's loads more to find out in Battlelog, but I hope I have outlined some of the basics for you. If you've got any questions, do stick them in the comment section, and I do hope this has been useful, especially for you beginners out there that are just trying to work out how you're going to unlock things and things like that. If you've got any requests for things you'd like tutorials on, I've talked about some of those unlocks. If you want me to talk about the various attachments, do let me know. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Do give the video a like if you found it helpful, and subscribe if you want to see the latest tutorials, let's plays and guides and mods and whatevers from me, the Adipose. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.